tell you who it is. We can't know anything about each other. Our identities must remain a secret. We're both superheroes, Cat Noir.
With a new villain in nearly every episode, Miraculous Ladybug has hosted a plethora of complex, superpowered characters. Some of these Akumatized villains are difficult for Ladybug and Cat Noir to beat, while others become routine, have built-in weaknesses, or are obscure. In today's video, we're exploring some of the villains that heroes have faced that have questionable powers. Not only do they have abilities that shouldn't work, but they also don't always make sense.
You can pull my heartstrings any day.
I think I liked you better when you sounded like a 5-year-old girl.
Number 10. Psy-Comedian. Harry Clown is a beloved comedian who dreams about writing for the film industry. In the episode Psy-Comedian, he takes his script about food-themed superheroes to the producer Bob Roth. Unfortunately, Bob claims that Harry should stick to his comedy acts and that he wouldn't successfully write for other genres. Harry wants to prove Bob wrong and is akumatized by Shadow Moth. When Harry becomes Psy-Comedian, he can change someone's emotions. He does so by squeaking his clown nose and changing the expression on his mask. Using his clown nose to change someone's feelings is odd, and it's also a weakness. Not only is he incapable of using his powers without a nose, but his powers don't impact his victims if they aren't looking at his masked face.
I can fix that. You'd rather be laughing?
Number 9. Party Crasher. Adrian lives under his father's strict rules, and when Gabriel forbids him from going out with a friend, it has dire consequences. In the episode Party Crasher, Adrian must cancel plans with his friend and fan, Wayhem. Unknown to Adrian, Nino and his other friends arrive while Gabriel is supposedly out of town, and they end up hosting a party. Wayhem feels hurt for not being invited, and believing he'd been lied to, he's akumatized by Hawkmoth. As the villain Party Crasher, Wayhem takes on a disco-themed appearance. He also can trap people and objects within his disco-themed gauntlets. His secondary ability is peculiar, as he can predict his opponent's movements. The two powers aren't cohesive at first glance, but it does take a team of heroes to combat them.
I can reach your dance steps and see all your moves in advance.
Number 8. Bake Rix. It can be hard to get behind an ever-changing world, and that's the case for Roland Dupain. In the episode Bake Rix, Marinette meets her grandfather for the first time. Marinette hopes to visit Roland and convince him to attend his son's 40th birthday party. Marinette pretends to be a delivery boy to get inside, and they bond over their love of baking. Roland eventually realizes Marinette is his granddaughter and kicks her out. Hawkmoth senses Roland's anger and uses it to akumatize him. As Bake Rix, he has an elixir that allows him to grow stronger for a short period. His means of heightened strength is distinct from most villains, as they are given their powers naturally, with no additional stipulations.
That's not how it's done! If you want to go to England, you take a boat! You get seasick!
Number 7. Guitar Villain. Jagged Stone is a beloved rock star in the series. As a recurring character, Marinette and her friends see many of his creative projects. In the episode Guitar Villain, his popularity and significance take a hit when an upcoming pop artist, XY, insults him on live TV. He's akumatized by Hawkmoth. His goal is to be the best musician in the city. As Guitar Villain, Jagged can use his guitar to unleash powerful sound waves that force people to dance. His abilities make sense as a guitarist, but his pet dragon does not. Jagged's pet crocodile Fang is also impacted by the akumatization. He becomes a giant dragon that Guitar Villain rides on, but until this episode in the series, animals had never been targets for akumatizations.
You're an insult to the music world, XY! An hologram?
Number 6. The Puppeteer. When Marinette has the time, she babysits the daughter of Nadia Shamak. Minot's an outgoing and playful little girl, but her busy mother may not see eye to eye with her. In the episode The Puppeteer, she is accused of stealing one of Marinette's dolls by Nadia. Marinette allowed her to borrow the doll, but the misunderstanding led to Mano being akumatized. As the Puppeteer, Mano can control anyone if she has a doll of them. Mano has dolls of previous villains in the series, like Lady Wi-Fi and Stormy Weather. Instead of influencing them as they are, such as gaining control of Alia, Puppeteer turns her back into Lady Wi-Fi. Her ability to re-akumatize certain villains means she has a similar ability to Hawkmoth.
I want those dolls!
Number 5. Queen Banana. As Miraculous Ladybug's token mean girl character, Chloe has nearly been akumatized as many times as she's caused the akumatization of other people. She is also one of the few who request to become a villain. Chloe often teams up with Hawkmoth to further her goals, as seen in the episode Queen Banana. Chloe is akumatized after her classmates don't give her the starring role in their film. To achieve this, she becomes the villain Queen Banana. Her super ability includes wielding a gun that shoots bananas. If one of her bananas strikes another person, they turn into a banana too. Her skills are some of the most peculiar, but instead of giving her something more powerful, Hawkmoth gives her a Sentimonster who can also turn people into bananas.
And what are you going to defend now that you're a banana?
Number 4. Siren. Although a minor character, Undine still maintains a special place in Kim's heart. She is introduced in the episode Siren when she and Kim spend time at the pool together. She tries to convey her feelings for him in a note, but he doesn't understand what it means. He later goes to the movies with Chloe and a heartbroken Undine becomes akumatized. As the villain Siren, she maintains her swimming skills. She can also swim fast and breathe underwater. These powers make sense due to her mermaid-like appearance, but she has a few extra abilities that don't make much sense. Siren floods Paris with tears, blows air bubbles, and turns Kim into part fish like her.
Kim! I found you at last!
Number 3. Gigantitan. To ensure his success, Hawkmoth begins the series by honing on the most negative emotions he can find. These emotions allow him to akumatize people, but sometimes they calm down enough to prevent an akuma from latching onto them. In the episode Gigantitan, Hawkmoth attempts to akumatize his son's bodyguard but ends up akumatizing a baby named August. After he turns into Gigantitan, August becomes a massive giant that towers over Paris. He has no additional powers aside from his enhanced strength and size. As a baby, he is an easy villain for the heroes to defeat, and difficult for Hawkmoth to control. Gigantitan scarcely follows the orders given to him, but Hawkmoth reakumatizes him in various episodes throughout the series. Number 2. Glaciator. Andre the ice cream maker is a man in love with the concept of love. His unique ice cream flavors are known to bring hopeful couples together. In the series, he becomes a recurring character in episodes that regard relationships and friendships. Ladybug and Cat Noir are not his usual customers, and the heroic duo continues to elude his intuition. In the episode Glaciator, Andre becomes akumatized because he wants Marinette to find true love. He doesn't know that her duties as Ladybug get in the way of her romances. As Glaciator, he can cover himself in a layer of ice cream. The massive amount of ice cream he uses allows him to become a gigantic monster that can shoot ice cream from its hands. His villainized appearance matches his job in daily life, but his ice cream layer is easy to break through. In the episode, the heroes defeat him by blowing the ice cream off his body.
Glaciator, the mean ice cream man! Escape my fury if you can!
Number 1. Mr. Pigeon. Many characters have been akumatized more than once, but none come close to Mr. Raimier. In the episode Mr. Pigeon 72, fans witness his 72nd akumatization. One has to wonder why he continues to be brought back as a villain, especially when defeating him has become a routine for Ladybug and Cat Noir. Mr. Raimier is known as a representative for Paris's pigeons. He's an avid lover of the birds and becomes an easy victim for Shadow Moth when it comes to their poor treatment. As Mr. Pigeon, Raimier can communicate and control pigeons with his bird whistle. His abilities aren't a big stretch compared to his everyday interests, but under his control, the birds are capable of peculiar feats, like carrying heavy objects. In the previously mentioned episode, Mr. Pigeon's powers have a sudden upgrade that he could have utilized during his past akumatizations. Anyone his evil pigeons touch also turns into a pigeon.
Remember, Edgar, if Mr. Roth is happy, he'll have a word with the mayor, and pigeons will live in Paris happily ever after.
Miraculous Ladybug isn't serious all the time, but the characters mentioned in this video have some strange powers. They stick out amongst other akumatizations due to their strangeness, lack of skill, or abilities that don't add up. They certainly aren't the worst enemies Ladybug and Cat Noir have faced, but they keep Paris's heroes on their toes. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
It's beautiful, Cat Noir.
Aren't you glad you finally came?
Listen,